Hello, everyone. Welcome to my presentation on multimedia principles for effective visual learning. My name is Trinina Lott, and I am thrilled to have this opportunity to share insights with you. As educators in a rapidly digital landscape, we are always seeking tools, strategies to enhance how we teach and how students learn. Multimedia offers us incredible potential to meet these goals. Before we dive in, think about the last time you used multimedia in your teaching. Maybe it was a video, or an interactive quiz, or even a PowerPoint presentation. Did it feel effective? Did your students seem engaged? Did the tool enhance their understanding, or did it just feel like a filler activity? How did you measure its impact? Was there any particular moment where you felt like it clicked or didn't click for your students? In this presentation, I will explore how to make sure multimedia tools we use are not just exciting, but also impactful. Here's what I will cover in my presentation. What is multimedia? The prolific use of multimedia, benefits of multimedia, and pitfalls of multimedia. By the end of this presentation, I hope you will walk away with insightful to make your multimedia tools not just exciting, but impactful for your classroom and students' learning. So, what is multimedia? Multimedia combines text, images, audio, video, and interactive elements to create a dynamic and engaging learning experience. It's not just about adding flashy graphics or videos. The goal is to combine these elements in ways that enhance understanding and learning outcomes. The prolific use of multimedia. Multimedia is a key part of modern education. It has transformed the way we teach and how students learn by making lessons more engaging and interactive. In classrooms, multimedia is widely used to enhance lessons. Teachers often incorporate videos, animations, interactive presentations to explain concepts. These tools make learning more engaging by bringing ideas to life, helping students better understand and retain the materials. Instead of relying solely on textbooks or lectures, Instead of relying on textbooks or lectures, pardon me. So instead of relying on textbooks or lectures, multimedia adds dynamic visuals and auditory component to lessons. The purpose of multimedia in education is to engage learners by appealing to multiple senses. It allows students to see, hear, and interact with content. For example, instead of simply reading about a specific scientific concept, students can watch an animation that demonstrates how it works. Afterward, they can participate in a simulation to test their understanding about what they have learned. This multisensory approach makes learning more memorable and impactful. In online learning, multimedia is an essential tool. It plays a key role in creating rich, engaging learning experiences. Video lecture, interactive quizzes, and gamified activities are common features of multimedia. These tools help students and teachers making online learning interactive and effectively. The use of multimedia can also support blended learning. Blended learning also relies on multimedia to combine in-person and online experiences. For instance, students might watch an instructional video at home to prepare for more hands-on activities or discussions in the classroom. This approach gives students the flexibility and help teachers make the most of face-to-face time. Also, virtual labs and simulations are another powerful tool used in multimedia. Tools allow students to conduct experiments or practice procedures in a virtual environment. This is especially used in fields like science, engineering, and medicine, where resources or physical access to labs might be limited. Language learners is another area where multimedia excels. Apps, videos, and interactive exercises immerse learners in the language. These tools provide opportunities to practice listening and speaking and vocabulary in real-world contexts. Multimedia makes language learning more effective and more enjoyable by offering immediate feedback and engaging activities. Multimedia also widely used in training programs, whether it's for corporate development, skill building workshops, or professional certifications. Multimedia tools like simulations or tutorials create realistic hands-on experience. Educational apps are another important application of multimedia. These apps use interactive features to make learning exciting and fun, and also personalized and accessible. They cater to learners of all ages, from young children to adults seeking new skills. Overall, multimedia is versatile. It engages learners by appealing to their senses and providing interactive opportunities. Whether in the classroom, online learning, or training programs, or even apps, multimedia is transforming how we teach and learn. Benefits of multimedia. The benefits are it increases engagement. For example, by presenting information, multimedia captures students' attention and keeps them interested. It also addresses diverse learning styles. Whether a student learns best through visual, audio, or even hands on, multimedia has something for everyone. Multimedia also has a benefit to promote deeper understanding and retention. It also fosters activity participation and improves comprehension. The pitfalls of multimedia. While multimedia is a powerful tool for teaching and learning, it is not without its challenges. Let's discuss some pitfalls to watch out for when designing or using multimedia. One of the major issue is too much information at once. Overloading students with too many visuals, text, and audio elements can overwhelm them. Instead, enhancing understanding, it can create confusion and frustration. Another common mistake is irrelevant visuals or content. Using images, animations, or videos that don't really support the lesson can distract the learners. Text and images that are not aligned is another pitfall. When text and visuals are placed far apart on a screen, it makes it harder for students to connect the information. This misalignment disrupts the flow of learning and reduces comprehension. Timing is also critical. Poor audio and visual timing, such as narration, doesn't match the visual content. Can confuse learners and break their concentration. Lack of providing no caption or transcripts can also make it difficult for students with hearing impairments. Distracting animations or effects can also be a problem. The flashy transitions or unnecessary sounds may seem fun, but it can take away the attention from students' learning. Ignoring different learning needs is another failing concept to consider. Some students may need additional explanations, while others may benefit from simple layouts or simple formats. So, once again, being aware of these pitfalls is the first step to avoiding them. By designing multimedia thoughtfully, we can ensure it enhances learning rather than distracting from it. Examples of multimedia tools. There are countless tools available to educators today. Platforms like Kahoot, Nearpod, Pear Deck, and Quizzes are some of the most useful ones that I use in the classroom. They provide interactive videos, simulations, and allow students to explore complex concepts in a very fun and interactive way. Virtual reality tools like Google Expeditions enable students to take virtual field trips, exploring places and ideas that can only be imagined. Multimedia learning principles, Mayer's principles. There are 3 types of principles that Mayer's principles focus on. The first principle is the modality principle. This principle suggests that we should present information using both audio and visuals. So, for example, combining narration with images or animation helps learners process information more effectively. The next one of the multimedia learning principles are the redundancy principle. Is the redundancy principle. This principle advises us to avoid overloading learners with redundant information. For example, if you're narrating content, there's no need to display the exact same text on the screen. Instead, focus on complementary visuals or keywords that reinforce the narration without duplicating it. Reducing redundancy helps maintain learner focus and prevents cognitive overload. Finally, the continuity. I get often mixed up with the contiguity principle. And this is the principle that I'm going to focus on with this presentation. The contiguity principle basically place related texts and visuals close together. This principle emphasizes the importance of aligning the text and visuals in both space and time. The contiguity principle, it's critical and it's a very important concept for effective multimedia learning. The principle emphasizes placing text and visuals close together for enhancing comprehension. So we're going to look more into that and kind of share some examples of contiguity principle. So contiguity principles in visual learning. Once again, it's placing related texts and visuals close to each other to enhance comprehension. So for example, here are my visual. I have a picture of a large pumpkin, and I've placed the text as close as I can next to the pumpkin. The contiguity principle in visual learning. There are two types that I would like to focus on today: the spatial contiguity and temporal contiguity. The spatial contiguity is basically when it refers to related texts and visuals. So for instance, putting a legend at the bottom of a page or labeling parts of a diagram directly are good examples. It's always important to avoid separating visuals and descriptions. Label diagrams, once again, directly, not with legends. Keep charts and explanations side by side. It's a great tip. Using callouts on images for quick understanding. So if you look up here, I have an example of spatial contiguity. I have a rabbit here at the bottom with the check mark. This is a rabbit, the picture of a rabbit. There's a call out next to it. It's a yellow call out, and it's demonstrating that this is a picture of a rabbit using a call out. At the very top right hand corner, this is not what the spatial continuity demonstrates. So basically, there's a picture of two pictures, and it's going to be confusing to see which one is a rabbit for the new learner. So it's always important to avoid separating visuals and descriptions. The next contiguity I'm going to talk about would be temporal. Temporal contiguity shows visuals and narrations together. For example, at the top right-hand corner, I have a clock, a picture of a clock, and I wrote, "This is a clock," and I'm saying that this is a narration, the audio part behind that concept. When it comes down to that, you need to also avoid delays between visuals and explanations. It's important to sync animations with explanations. Keep focus by matching content and timing. For example, play animations while explaining them, or match text to the speaker words, or show steps with matching narrations. And here I kind of did an animation description on this is a clock. Practical applications. Some examples of good practices. Effective multimedia can take forms of many incorporating incorporating it into your teaching. Let's look at some good practices that align with multimedia learning principles. Interactive ebooks. These allow students to engage directly with videos, quizzes, and other resource embedded within the text. For example, a biology ebook might include short video clips, demonstration processes like the cell division, followed by interactive questions to test understanding. Virtual labs with on-screen instructions is another good example and a good educational practice of continuities. Digital diagrams labeled directly. Videos with sync animations and narrations. Clickable images for detailed explanations. All of these are great practices. Not only make learning more engaging, but also support comprehension by aligning with principles of the multimedia principles. Multimedia ensures students aren't just entertained by truly learning and retaining the material. On the right side, you will see common mistakes to avoid. Multimedia is a great tool, but it can have issues if it is not used carefully. Let's look at some common mistakes to avoid. Too much text on slides. Having too many words on a slide can overwhelm a learner. It's best to use short bullet points or phrases instead. Poor timing on visuals and narrations. If the visuals don't match what you're saying, it can confuse a student. Using unrelated visuals, basically, pictures, if the pictures don't relate to the topic, it can distract learners. Placing text far from images. Text and visuals need to be close together. If they're too far apart, students might struggle to connect to them. Adding distracting animations. So all this flashy effects, unnecessary animations can pull attention away from the lesson and keep animations. So it's always important to keep animations simple and focused. Creating multimedia content using congruity principles. Designing tips include: use clear fonts and contrasting colors, keep text consistent and easily to read, align visuals and text logically, ensure a clean and uncluttered layout, highlight key points with visuals. So it is important to design using the congruity principle. I apologize, but it's contiguity. It is so important to keep these principles in mind when designing your multimedia and using those principles. These tips are important to remember to engage learners and to enhance effective learning strategies. So these are some tips that I just wanted to share with you when it comes down to designing content. Here are some recommended tools. Remember, there are plenty of tools out there that's available, but these are some tools that I would recommend for creating synchronized video content. Canva, PowerPoint, Prezi for visual designs, and tools like Adobe are great when creating synchronized videos. What research says? Research provides strong evidence for the effectiveness of multimedia when designed thoughtfully. Let's look at what experts have found. Clark and Myers, they highlighted spatial contiguity as a way to reduce cognitive effort. When the text is placed close to the responding graphics, learners don't have to work as hard to connect the two. This simple adjustment can significantly improve comprehension. Liu said their study explored the temporal contiguity effect in narrated slideshows. They found that the aligned narration with visuals help learners process information more effectively. Poor alignment can disrupt understanding, so timing is a key. And some more research with AR and VR technologies opens a new possibility for multimedia learning. Augmented and virtual reality provides immense experiences that go beyond traditional tools. This researcher found out that AR-based science systems boost understanding, motivation, and reduce cognitive load. And that's La, 2018. While multimedia can greatly enhance learning, there are challenges as we need to address to ensure it works for everyone. Let's start with some challenges. To review over some challenges. Challenges could occur when some learners lack technology access. For example, not all students have reliable access to the internet or devices, which can limit their ability to use multimedia tools. Multimedia tools can be expensive. High quality tools and softwares comes with a price tag. Learners have diverse needs. Every student learns differently, so one-size-fits-all approach may not work. Accessibility is often overlooked. Multimedia content can exclude students with disabilities if captions, transcripts, or alternate formats are not provided. And the challenge of ensuring adequate teacher training. Teachers need to know how to use multimedia effectively, but training is not always available. Let's look at some solutions. To these challenges. Sometimes free educational tools are available. There are many free and low-cost multimedia tools available, such as Google Classroom, Canva, and even Kahoot. Adding captions and transcripts can be helpful. It can help those students with hearing impairment, or it can also help the learner as well with disabilities. Keep visuals simple. That's another solution. Avoid cluttering layouts or overlay complex designs. Keep it clear. Keep it simple. Help the learner. Make it easy for all learners to focus on the content that is being learned. Provide text, audio, and video formats. Offering multiple formats ensure the learners can choose the one that works best for them. Also, test it out on different learners can be a solution. Before finalizing your multimedia content, get feedback from a diverse group of students to identify any potential issues that could arise. To wrap up my presentation, multimedia has a great potential to improve education. Here are some key points to remember. Explore AR or VR applications. It can be a tool to engage students and yet improve understanding. Tailor multimedia designs to meet varied educational needs. Creating content that meet the needs of different learners can help engage those learners and help them learn the concept that is being taught. The next takeaway, invest in teacher training. Teachers need skills and tools to use multimedia effectively. Training is a key to make the most of these resources. Last tip, using multimedia thoughtfully. Follow research-based principles to create engaging, effective learning experiences for all students. All students. By keeping these ideas in mind, we can use multimedia to create better learning experiences for all students. I want to thank you, and I encourage you to take these strategies and apply them to your classroom, institution, or even a business. Start small. Pick one principle or two, implement it, and see the results. The more we refine our approaches, the better we can serve our students. Thank you for your attention. This is Trinina Lott.